Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of Kingdoms. Today's a special episode, episode 50. That means we're doing a world tour, and we've got a new world download. There's a link in the description if you want to download the world, play on it yourself. We are in 18W14B, so you'll have to be in that snapshot, but the world download is in the description. But yeah, we have a world tour to do today. I look forward to doing these. It's fun, and it's been a while since we've done one, actually, like actual amount of time that has passed, because there was a while there where the videos weren't coming out as much, so it's been quite a while since episode 25, but the first thing that we need to do is induct a whole bunch of new people into the Hall of Patrons. So, and I'm gonna butcher some of these names. I'm sure that's probably the most entertaining part for some people. KJ Plays UK, Cole Ryan, Carissa Larson, Danny Vorstenbosch, something like that, Christopher Lustig, Crystal Knight, Emma Hins, Aiden Somerville, P3RKS, Scott L. Shelton, Chester Cottrill, Sark, something like that, Connor Gress, Mar Eva Yave. Why must you people have such complicated names? Wesley Allison, Jane Goddard, Douglas Cochran, Anthony Morales, Anthony Wyna, Neotran, Cosmo Von Steenis, and Zane. All of you, thank you so much. I appreciate it. All of these people are new patrons. Also, there are heads, or there are signs on houses and stuff around the world that you guys might find if you look at the world download as well. So anyway, let's start off right here. This is Bullstone. This was our initial starting village at the beginning of Season 2. It's kind of like a little fishing village. Got some docks over here, some fishing nets, all sorts of stuff. Very, very simple, kind of like old school Minecraft style here, as far as like the block palette and everything. Nothing groundbreaking, just real simple. You know, that's kind of what I felt like doing at the beginning of this series, was just sort of getting started with the basics. And we've got, a few different houses and things like that scattered around. There's also a fairly large storage facility here, and then the other side of it is over here as well. Lots of unused chests at this moment, but that's totally fine. And this was kind of the beginning. This is where everything started, and it's not huge, but when we first started, we really didn't have any resources at all. So it was kind of one of those things where, like, we built up the world a little bit over time. And how's my elytra doing, by the way? Ooh, I think we'll be okay. But after we got done working on that, we started working on a jungle kingdom, which never actually got a name, and which was never finished, and which may never be finished, or it might be. I don't know. We'll see. I think it's like over... Yeah, here we go. It's over this way somewhere. Gotta find... Yeah. We found it. Okay. So we have a path here. I should also probably show the coordinates once we actually get there. Yeah, that's something that I need to get better at doing during these world tours. But we've got like a little path that kind of winds through the jungle here. Lots of jungle wood, coarse dirt. Jungle wood and coarse dirt go so well together. It's like one of the best combinations. They're basically the same colors. I love jungle wood and coarse dirt together as a path. But if you follow the path through the jungle, eventually you will come to our little jungle kingdom, which we kind of started but never really got off the ground. We just built a couple of little minor things here. There's the coordinates. If you're interested, you can make your way over here. But it's really just like 2 buildings right now. And then I have to admit, like, I started working on this area and kind of like lost all inspiration. It felt very forced, and I like wasn't really feeling it. So I kind of abandoned this and decided to work on a different kingdom instead. There's really, like, this is literally all there is to see here, but I figured I'd show it anyway. So after the jungle kingdom got started, as far as like actual kingdoms go, we eventually started working on the kingdom we're working on now, which still doesn't have a name, but certainly has a fair amount of things that we've accomplished. We should be coming up on Bullstone here pretty soon. Yeah, there it is. And Bullstone, by the way, the coordinates for this are right there. So you can jot those down if you'd like. Pause the video, you know, whatever. Most of the stuff in this world is connected up via paths, so it shouldn't be like that difficult. If you stick to the paths, you shouldn't have too hard of a time. But over here, this is the kingdom we're working on now. And I'm loving this kingdom so much. It's really starting to kind of come together. There's a lot of cool stuff going here. We're using prismarine for the roofs and kind of a very sort of like almost Tudor style, or like a Wattle and Daub style, kind of. We're working on this manor right now. This is like our big project, and it's actually almost done. We just need to do the actual interior decorating. Like, we've got the interior itself done. We just need to actually like fill the space with decorative stuff. But this is fly, please. Fly. There we go. But this is a really cool area, and you can see it's pretty large as well. There's still a ton left to do here. But the main draw of Kingdoms is many other things. There's a lot of stuff kind of throughout this world. So let's head down into the mines, and there's some stuff down here to be seen. Down here, we got a sheep farm with all the different colors of sheep, so I can get wool fairly easily. That's all down here. And then also down these stairs, we have my actual mines. So there's like a beacon. I think the beacon's still down here. If you go, and obviously there's the Nether portal. But down here, is the beacon actually still here, or did I think I removed it to use it for a project. I think this beacon that was supposed to go here is actually over at the kingdom we're working on right now. But let's head into the Nether, and I'll kind of try and like break down where stuff goes, because the Nether is not done. But it's all kind of closed off, so it shouldn't be that hard to figure out where you gotta go. So over this way, desert and jungle. There's nothing actually built that way. It's just a desert and a jungle. If we go this way, there's signs that'll tell you where you need to go. So this is our end portal. This goes to the end, and then there's nothing over there. Like, we haven't decorated our end room or anything like that. It's just a stronghold and a portal. There's a double blaze spawner and a dark oak forest that we built going that way. And then this is our way to get down to the actual, like, Nether itself, if you want to go down there for some reason. You know, to get quartz. I don't know, maybe some of you, like, actually play along in this world and gather resources and stuff here. But that's how you get down there. This, I think, is the dark oak forest. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is our dark oak forest right here, which means that the kingdom we're working on right now is like right over there. It's just barely out of render distance. There, if you go straight that way, you'll come to a mountain range, and eventually you'll hit the kingdom that we're working on right now, which unfortunately doesn't have a name. But if we keep heading down this direction, we will eventually come to our double blaze spawner, I believe. I think it's maybe... Yeah, it's down that way. And it was kind of a fiasco, and it doesn't actually really work. I didn't count it out properly when I was building it. So the two blaze spawners are like 3 blocks too far apart for you to be able to trigger both of them at once, no matter where you stand. They're just barely too far apart. We might as well go take a look at it, though, since we're halfway here anyway. But when I built this thing, I was like, oh man, we got a double blaze spawner. It's going to be great. We'll get all the blaze rods and stuff that we need. Everything will be wonderful. Yeah. Yep. Miscalculation struck. And as a result, well, I don't have a blaze. Like, it's 2 single blaze spawners right next to each other. And it's not much to look at. That's where the blazes spawn. That's where the blazes spawn. There's a collection area. This is based on a design by Nembon MC, I believe. And it's basically uses mob pathing to get the blazes to move to here, and then they fall down and you can kill them. But it's not much to look at. And then there's like a little nether fortress here. But anyway, so if we head back up, and I'm trying, I'll cut in just a second here, but before I do, I kind of want to explain a little bit about like the way the world's laid out so that you guys don't get lost as you're looking around the world. Because now we're going to go and take a look at the old world. And the old world is basically season 1 of Kingdoms. This world has been a continuous world now for a total of like 200 episodes altogether. And season 1 was the first 150 episodes, and I refer to it as the old world. And what we've been working on in season 2, I consider the new world. That's kind of how I discern between the two. But there's some things that we've built in season 2 that are kind of back over there, and we'll get to that in a second. So anyway, coming down this tunnel, right? That is the Nether hub. That's where we just came from. This is the way to the blaze spawner. And then if you follow this tunnel, and you keep following this tunnel, and you continue to follow this tunnel for like a bazillion blocks, you'll eventually come to the old world. I think it's something like 1,200 or 1,500 blocks of walking. So I'm going to continue down this tunnel for a while, and I'll be back with you in just a sec. And there it is. Look at that. We've got it all figured out. So this is the old world, and right in here is where we ultimately decided to build a guardian farm. And we did this whole thing in like one episode. And the snapshots totally broke it. It doesn't work at all right now. No guardians spawn in the guardian farm. RIP. But it did work. I mean, it was working when I built it, and we've got enough prismarine shards to last us a while, at least. Still though, like the frustration. This guardian farm took like probably 30 or 40 hours. I don't remember exactly how much it was, but basically it was like 2 or 3 days of just nonstop like working on it. And keep in mind that like YouTube is my full-time job. So when I say like 2 or 3 days, I don't mean like 2 or 3 days of me like getting off of work, coming home and playing Minecraft I mean like 2 to 3 days of waking up, working on this nonstop until I went to bed. It took a while. But that big long tunnel from the old world comes out right at this portal. So this is our guardian farm. And then we get to the more developed area of the end. And there's a lot of stuff here, or the end. I should say the nether. All of these have proper nether tunnels. And eventually, everything in the nether will have proper nether tunnels, including that big, long, giant one. It's going to take me 1,000,000 years, but it will eventually have a proper nether tunnel. So, when we come over here, most of the stuff you can kind of figure out where it goes just by looking at the tunnel. Right here, this goes to the end, if you couldn't guess by the purpur. Down this way, there's a tunnel that leads to, wait for it, a mesa. This goes to the mesa. Nothing built over there. It's just a mining mesa, essentially, for me to get whatever clay I need. But now we can start touring some of the stuff in the old world. And I will also say, I'm probably going to miss some stuff over the course of this video. As I said, it's like 200 episodes. I don't remember every single little thing that we've built. And on top of that, I don't remember like all the little things that might be spread around in various different places. And we just don't have time to look at absolutely every little thing. So, you know, download the world, explore it, look at it yourself. You'll find all sorts of cool things. But yeah, this is the main hub. This goes to an ice plane spikes. There's nothing built over there, but there's ice plane spikes that way if I need packed ice. And then we'll start here. And now we get to start touring the world, the part of the world that I'm like super attached to and that I remember quite clearly. Ooh, I don't want to sleep, but I kind of need to sleep. But I don't want to sleep because if I sleep, it'd take me to the end and my plan was to finish the tour at the end and then just, yeah, you know what? We're going to sleep. Okay, so this is Alltomb. This was the very first place that we built. This was the very first kingdom in this world. Spawn for this world is basically at the base of this mountain. It's like right about... It's right there. See that spruce pillar? That's world spawn right there. Although I have actually moved the spawn chunks now for season 2. So the spawn chunks now are where Bullstone is. But this is where the world... This was the spawn point for the world. If you pull up the seed, you can... That's where you'll spawn, I think. I don't think that's been changed since this world was started, the spawn mechanics. But there's like this gate. There's a bunch of walls and stuff that go around. This is kind of... the story here is that this is like a mercenary hideout or outpost or headquarters or something like that. The people that live here are basically like a band of mercenaries that just kind of take whatever work they can get, and then they, this is where they return to and where they live. So there's a few things that we have built here. I mean, obviously the walls and the structures and stuff, but there's, this was the first storage room for the world. All the chests are empty now, but this was the original storage room. There's a hole in the wall over here. I think it was this one. Yeah, this one right here. This is an AFK fishing farm. I don't know if this actually works. In fact, I'm like 99% sure that this one doesn't work anymore. I think this design is now broken by the snapshot changes for 1.13. But there's an AFK fishing farm here. Down here, there's a fairly simple super smelter. Stuff you want to smelt in the top chest. Coal over here. Oh, hello. Cool. I just found a bunch of free stuff. Awesome. I did not even know that was in there. I wonder how long that's been in there. That's probably been in there for like months. It hasn't. In fact, I know it has, because I haven't used that since like season 1. So that's been in there for maybe even like a year now. Who knows? But down here, this is our mines from season 1. You can see over here, there's still a beacon. I could go and pick that up if I wanted. There's a slime farm around here somewhere, I think. Or maybe, is the slime farm here? Or is the slime farm somewhere else? I forget. Go away, please. Leave me alone. I want to be left in peace, please. Just like, leave and just leave me alone. I have a tour to do. Anyway, it also appears like there was a creeper accident there. But this was the season 1 Hall of Patrons, and we're going to have to build a season 2 Hall of Patrons at some point, because if you guys didn't notice at the very beginning of the video, I'm basically out of space in our little temporary hall. So I'm going to have to make a new one, and a proper one. And I'm thinking I'd like to maybe incorporate that into our new kingdom that we're building right now. Is make like just a massive Hall of Patrons in there somewhere. I think that would be really cool. But yeah, this was season 1 Hall of Patrons. It's pretty straightforward. There's heads and players and just tons and tons of names of people who have supported me on Patreon over the years. Because once someone does, like once someone's added, I never go back and remove them, Not only would that be a nightmare to maintain, but also like I think it's cool to still like remember the people who supported me in that way in the past, even if they can't anymore. So yeah, there's the mines, there's the Hall of Patrons from season 1. There's also a bunch of farms here in Alltomb as well that weren't all built right at the beginning of the season, or right at the beginning of season 1, but were built kind of over the course of season 1. So right here, we got an automatic netherwort farm. There's an automatic chicken farm right here. I'm just gonna take this stuff. And then down here, there's an automatic sugarcane farm that is fairly small, but it works. I'm not going to take that sugarcane with me. I don't think I've built a sugarcane farm in season 2. come to think of it. That may actually be something I want to do. In the meantime, let's just grab some of this stuff. Because I think, like, we actually need sugarcane because, like, I do a comment of the day in these videos, and that goes through paper. Not very quickly, but it does go through it. There we go. Might as well just load up on this stuff while I'm here. No reason not to. So, yeah, this was the first kingdom that we built in Season 1. This is Alltomb. After we built this, then we moved out. Well, you know what? We should also look here. I should probably take a look at the town hall or the main, like, hideout or whatever you want to call it. There's some places down here for people to eat. There's, you know, different dining room tables. There's a ladder somewhere. Ah, right here. That goes up to some bedrooms and stuff like that. But then you can come out here, and this road basically connects everything up. So following this road, there's a ton of stuff. I mean, the road, obviously, a lot of this landscaping is custom. Not super difficult landscaping. A lot of it's just like bone meal everything and add some bushes. But some of it's a little bit more custom as well. Eventually, you come to a spot right here where there's a little bandit cave. I actually really love this. This is like one of my favorite builds that we did in Season 1. It's so small, but it's so simple, and like it's so like detailed, and it really gives you that kind of like creepy cave sort of feel where they're like, oh yeah, this is where we, it's a little bandit cave, you know, and there's a little bed here and stuff as well. So that's all sitting there. Eventually, this road splits. There's a fork right here. So both of the forks come out at the same place, which you can just barely kind of see off in the distance there if you peek through the trees. But over here, there's a little skeleton farm. There's a skeleton spawner down this way. There's the button. And, you know, I wanted to make this very kind of like a ruined and sort of dilapidated and destroyed building, and I think I accomplished that for the most part. This was for bones, and I didn't get nearly as many of them as I would like. Eventually, we built a better mob farm, so I never use this anymore. But if we follow along, and we go to this, the other path, remember the fork in the road? The other path comes out right here. And you can see it goes on a bridge, comes across like that. This one comes over right here. And then we come to the farming village of Vonona. And I love this village. This is one of my favorite. This might be my favorite. No, it's not. This is probably my second favorite kingdom in this world. But we've got this is actually a barn right here. So there's like storage for wheat and stuff like that down here. There's a little micro farm. So you fill these with bone meal and you can instantly grow as much of, you know, whatever you want. There's a little area up here where they're storing hay bales, a little crane, a little bit of a loft, all sorts of stuff. We have stables over here where there's a couple of llamas, just because, why not? There is, I think it's this house. Yeah, there's another sheep farm that's very similar to the one we built in Season 2, just not quite as well designed. It's similar in a lot of ways in that there's no like automation or anything like that, but I like the other design better. The other design has a big giant pen in the middle for just like mass production of some color. But you can see I needed a lot of green wool for something. I don't know what I needed it for, but I needed it for something. And then over here, there's a little blacksmith. We've got our kind of main house that we lived in while we were working in this area. That's right here. Off in the distance, you can see Solus, the City of Light, and a project that I will eventually return to. I've decided for sure. This is going to be something that we will work on eventually. But I love this block palette. Like, I love just kind of the design and the feel of these houses. That's very, very kind of interesting and unique, and I like it a lot. Now, keep in mind, I do use a texture pack for my world that I made myself. You'll find a link to that in the description as well. But this is diorite. This is birch. This place looks hideous without the texture pack. But with the texture pack, I really like it. It's very kind of light, very bright, very light colors, very kind of almost fantasy. It's I don't know, like it's got kind of this very like unique feel to it, and I like it a lot. Now, if we come back to Vonona, oh, and I should show coordinates. That's right. Hey, it's a thing. Coordinates. This is coordinates for Vonona. Thing, please. Can we, pretty please, can we sleep? I see the sun going down. I want to sleep, please. I think I see stars even. I definitely see stars. Please, let me... There are stars in the sky, game. There we go. Sometimes this game. It's okay. But, remember that fork in the road that I told you guys about? That I pointed out before? That one right over here? So there was that fork in the road. One end comes out over here, and one end comes out over here. And this is the bridge we crossed. Well, at this bridge, there's another path that goes this way. And this leads to a Ravine kingdom that we began working on and did some work on. And I don't know, this is another one of those kingdoms that we started, and maybe it will get finished someday, but maybe it won't. I don't know. I wanted to build kind of in a ravine, but... And honestly, like, we did a fair amount of stuff. Like, it could be called complete. But I think we could do a lot more with it as well. There's, like, a little area here. The idea is that this was kind of inspired by, like Goblin Town in The Hobbit, or, like, the Mines of Moria in some ways, minus the mine part. You know, so, like, a lot of kind of rope bridges and sort of rickety construction, little caves and stuff like that, all kind of connected together by a variety of, you know, sort of rope things. Like it's just kind of here, and I wanted to give this kind of feeling that like this is a very poor area. The people that live here are very, very poor, and they barely get by, but they do collect different things. There's like a cave of shinies over here, and they're very good at tinkering and stuff like that. So this is the city of Rathnor. But next up, and this is we are now on the way to what I would consider to be the crown jewel of this entire world, currently at least. If you follow this path for a while, you'll come to Woodsong. This is our kind of Nordic or Skyrim-inspired kingdom. We've got kind of a big, giant Jarl's longhouse up there, which was kind of based off the architecture for stave churches, or maybe they're pronounced stave churches. I'm not really sure. But you can see a lot of those kind of distinctly Nordic architectural elements, like these. Well, man, I wish I had Optifine, but I don't because snapshots. But there's a lot of kind of interesting architectural elements here, which were fun to play around with. And this is another kingdom that I think we should really go back to at some point and sort of overhaul, you know, because it's just a few houses. Like, we could do so much more with this. But it is, you know, it's complete, but it's also not complete, if that makes sense. Once you leave Woodsong, though, there's a path that leads this way, and this is what actually takes you to the crown jewel of this world. And that, of course, for those of you who watched Season 1, is the city of Regnum, which is essentially, it was Roman-inspired. I wasn't trying to base it off of Roman architecture, but I took a lot of inspiration from Roman cities and the ways that they, like, laid out their cities and different architectural elements and stuff like that, even though the colors are very off for what you would find in actual Roman architecture. You can kind of see it in the distance there. There's a little camp along the way, a little traveler's camp for people who are, you know, merchants or something. They couldn't quite make the journey, so they had to make camp here for the night. But coming off into the distance, you can see, as we kind of come up, there's just so much cool stuff here. We got these walls, towers all over the place. There's a big statue back there. You got a Colosseum over here. There's just so much stuff here. I absolutely love this kingdom. And this is one kingdom that is truly done. Like, everything here is done. And I love it. We got a big marketplace. We got a temple here. There's another temple over there. We could explore just Regnum for probably like the entire length of this video. but I'm not going to. I encourage you to come here and look at it yourself. Here's the coordinates if you want to come and take a peek yourself. But this is the Colosseum, and the Colosseum doubles as a mob farm. We get real framey right here when this thing is running, so I apologize for that. But underneath this, there's a mob farm. It's the same mob farm I built in Hermitcraft Season 5, and up there's an AFK platform for it, which gives me all sorts of wonderful mob drops. There's also the Grand Library right here, and this has tons of enchanted books. So basically all of our enchanted books are stored here. And it also has all the comments of the day, or at least all the comments of the day from Season 1. I don't think I've actually moved the stuff from Season 2. Yeah, we only have up to episode 149. We don't have episode 150 and beyond, which would be Season 2, essentially. But I will eventually store those here. I just haven't actually done that yet. I need to remember to do that. Every time I come to the old world, like, I forget to bring that stuff with me, and that's why I haven't done it yet. But that's fine. Over here, this was our storage room for Season 1. This was our final storage room for Season 1. And there's tons and tons of stuff here. I believe there's a bunch of, like, resources here and stuff as well. Yeah, lots of iron, lots of gold, fair amount of concrete, fair amount of wool, not much in the way of prismarine. Well, actually, there's a little bit more here than I thought. This is from when we mined out the Guardian Temple, I think. But there's a fair amount of different resources here. There's a little barracks right here. I mean, there's just so much stuff. Like, let's just fly up to the AFK platform because it's really like a good kind of viewing area to see the scale of this town and of this, like, look at this place. There's so much. There's tons of houses, tons of different buildings. Some of these have a purpose, like that one right there is an auto smelter. One of these ones, I think it's that one, is a sand to red sand converter. I mean, there's just so much stuff here that we could, as I said, we could be here for hours, but we don't have hours. But this is Regnum. This is my Roman city, and this is honestly my favorite of all the kingdoms in the world by far, because it's the one that's done. Like, this one actually feels complete to me, and that means a lot. Like, how's our lighter doing? It's doing okay. We're getting somewhere. Oh, and I should also, I should just go back to Regnum real quick, because there's one thing that I totally forgot to mention. You know, obviously this is all connected up in the overworld with this path, but there's also, right here, another portal. So you can just get back in the Nether as well, and it will come out in a tunnel that is decorated using the same block palette as Regnum, the same kind of, like, granite, what all is this? Granite, gray concrete, and nether brick. That's and this is red sand, or red sandstone, I should say. So it's used that same it uses that same block palette, but then it comes out at the Nether hub for Season 1. So this portal right here goes back into Vonona. So last but not least, we should probably take a look in the end, because there's a couple things to show there as well. How good am I at this? Oh yeah. Nailed it. So we'll pop in here real quick, and there's a couple things to see here. First of all, this is our Nether portal room for Season 1. This is all decorated out. We'll probably end up doing something like this for our Nether portal room in Season 2 as well at some point. I just haven't gotten around to it. But right over here, we have two more farms. There is a squid farm right here and a cactus farm right here. I need to fix this because it doesn't work as well as it should. Because I don't know if they changed something with squid mechanics or if it was just the water mechanic changes or what, but it just doesn't work very well. Like, the squid don't. I think it's a water mechanics problem. So I'm gonna have to fix something with that as well. But we'll get there. Let's head into the end. Here we go. And there's a couple things. Here's our original Ender that we built in Season 1. It works. It's completely functional. It's all good. Over here is our Ender for Season 2. And in fact, I actually need to repair some stuff, so I'll probably finish off the episode here. But this is still a work in progress. We still have decorating and things to do here. It works pretty well, though. Like, it gets the job done. One swipe, kill the Enderman, gather all the XP, repair your elytra, repair your shovel or your pickaxe or whatever. No problem. Also get like 20 frames per second here, which is a little unfortunate. But I think that's basically the world tour in a nutshell. I'll have an updated world download in the description, as I said. So check that out if you're interested. But I think, guys, that is going to do it for me. If you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Links in the description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, my friends, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.